Hello, good morning from Scotland. Oh no, we have a patch disaster. Patch, you come this way? That's right. Good boy. Well done. Patch did it. Well, happy Thursday. What a beautiful, glorious day here in the beautiful seaside town on the east coast of Scotland. It's quite quiet. Often I walk just before or during the school run, so we're just after the school run now, which is good. There were, if you didn't see them, I posted last night, or recorded last night and posted today, the beautiful dragon clouds that showed up in my skies last night using my amazing new Psionics Aurora Pro night vision camera. And it was a really fascinating experience because it's one thing watching other people's videos, which I do love, but also seeing, be able to see it with the naked eye as well is really cool. And it feels like when you do that, what you're doing is you're kind of interacting much more as well. I really enjoyed seeing you can just kind of glimpse a little bit to the side. Patch is just stopping for what Patch does. Excuse me while I pick this up, but it's nice and close to the bin, which is good. But yeah, it was amazing seeing in the corner of my eye, I could just about see, when you kind of look to the side of stars, you can see them more clearly. Well, what was cool was you could see just glimpses of some of the stars and the satellites or UAPs. I wasn't really sure what they were, but I was more preoccupied with the dragons for sure. They were so cool, and these were beautiful white dragon clouds, and they felt very, also were protective, because I did also see some darker clouds. It was funny, if you watched, there's that cartoon that the Beatles made with blue meanies in it, and that's what came to my mind, the Yellow Submarine movie in this, and one of them, maybe Ringo, says, "Hey, look lads, there's a blue meanie," and that happens quite a lot in the movie, which is funny. So, which is cool, right? Because the movie wouldn't be as exciting if it wasn't for the blue meanies. Oh, so much fun. I wanted to briefly talk a bit about money. Money. And the reason is, yesterday I completed my end of year review with my accountant. First of all, if you happen to be watching this, massive shout out to you. I won't name her, but she's just incredible and has been such a guiding light through my business and personal finances. And she always seemed very excited. You just feel this energy, very excited for me and my business and continued sustainability and growth. So thank you for that. I always look forward to our monthly catch-ups. And just to recap, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get into loads of detail in a short walking video. But a year ago, on May 31st, I created a company called Heart Centered Wellness Limited. And the idea is that when you buy services from me, I trade as that company. And so you pay the company, and then what happens is my company, the company of one, me, pays me money. And what's cool about that is that you experience, somewhat unintentionally, I experience what it's like running a company, because really my intention, it continues to be just to work for myself. But there's a lot of benefits to having your own company, and not I don't think there's really much difference in things like tax, etc. But it does give you much greater flexibility, and it includes things like if I did want to employ someone temporarily to help do work, I could do that and just pay like their national insurance and all these things. So there's definitely benefits to it. So I think the first feeling I wanted to share is I just felt a really lovely sense of accomplishment, of validation in many respects when I did a review. So this was a review of all the gross sales, the gross revenue, trying to get my terms right, correct me if I'm wrong, of my company since it started trading. And to put it in perspective, before I started the company, it was the work I did, although I've been doing it for several years at a psychic and spiritual level, the work was very much really just paying for the website, paying for, it wasn't losing money, put it that way, which was good, but not really making anything beyond a few pounds, and certainly not enough to live off. I remember someone saying to me, "Oh, did you make £300 a month on that hobby?" I was like, "No, that was a year." So that's what it went from just before I left Amazon. And I'm not going to share my exact numbers of money that I made. And it was funny because and there's a few reasons why. One is culturally in the UK, we just don't talk about it. We do not talk about our annual incomes. It's seen as a very ugly thing to do. There's maybe a better word than ugly, but that's one aspect of it. The other is privacy, and then the other is it triggers other people, right? Now, I must admit, when others in do similar work to me have advertised their income and shown big numbers, whatever the 10k months or the 100,000 a year, in dollars, like whatever they advertise, these numbers are definitely very interesting. What they did do for me is help me understand that there's definitely a market and that there's an opportunity, there's demand for the work, and so I'm not going to starve. So that's definitely helpful. But no one really knows how much they're going to earn until they get started. And what I experienced was just also getting my head around some of the older paradigms. So this included, what was it like when I had a salaried job? Because it's very different when you work for your own company. So I'm a founder of Heart Centered Wellness Limited, founding director, and that means that I can take, for instance, a salary just at the like a small salary each month, and then pay myself dividends, and you still have to pay tax, right? There's no getting around it. But what you do experience is greater flexibility. So, just as my income goes up and down each month, so does the opportunity to pay myself. And I must admit, one of the things I found quite hard was trying to figure out how much money I really need to earn each month. And what it was, the reason that looking back, the reason that was so hard to figure out, and you think, oh, I could just do the maths, but if you work out you need to earn 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever it is per month, the real challenge is not the numbers, it's the balance. And the very first thing I did, because I knew I'd got this wrong when I worked at Amazon in 26 years in software engineering, was that I would burn myself too hot, too bright, burn myself out. When I was far too busy, Pat's enjoying that tree, when I was far too busy working and not enough balance in my life. And so I just, although I could earn, huge amounts of money, I still felt very happiness poor, or health poor, cash rich, health poor. So when I think it was November 2023, I created this kind of vision about what I want to achieve in my business. And when I did that, I came up with this idea to balance these things. And so to have a clear statement about how many days I wanted to work a week, which I think was 4 days a week, 4 days full time, and then plus other stuff. And sometimes it's a bit of a joke. People say, "Oh, escape the 9 to 5, 5 days a week," to just working all the time for yourself. And I definitely didn't want that either. And I also knew that I would have failed if I'd earned huge amounts of money but hadn't achieved a work-life balance. I am pleased to say that my work-life balance continues to significantly improve, including this morning. I've really got the morning off. I do have the morning off. I'm gonna do some DIY in my camper van, which is fun. I find it very relaxing. In terms of the actual, or maybe not the actuals, but the relative amounts of money that were earned over the last year, I would say that if you were to get me to guess a year ago how much money my company would earn, I would guess probably around a half or 2/3 of what I actually end up earning, which is phenomenal, right? And then if you ask me about the work-life balance, I would say that I would have hoped to have achieved, aren't these beautiful? To achieve the work-life balance earlier, but certainly through November, December, January, February, March, those 4 or 5 months, they were really intense. And whilst it earned lots of money, it taught me what it feels like to work too much, too hard, and likely earning more than I needed. And my wife and I have continued to have many conversations about the right balance. And one thing I've also learned is that it's not, your health and your spare time and time for your passions are not mutually exclusive with your work and your income. It's more that your joy, your rest, your self-care, your self-love, this is what fuels your ability to work and fuels the quality of your work. So I hope you feel in my energy, oh, isn't that beautiful? I hope you feel in my energy that I'm feeling, okay, it's Thursday, and I was doing a membership call late last night, but apart from that, I feel really good and happy and clear and excited for another day. And I am looking forward to my work this afternoon. By the way, we're live on YouTube at 4:30 UK time, 11:30 AM Eastern time, 8:30 AM Pacific time. And that also feels really good as well, to have that right balance of, free work, the kind of pro bono work, so doing free live streams. The live streams aren't monetized, but you can donate if you wish. Because when you monetize live streams, it just drives me crazy. It just feels like you have to disappear and watch some adverts and then come back into it. That's, I'm not saying I'd never do that, but I just, acknowledging that experience. So I do feel that was also important for me. You're not necessarily just going to earn more money because you're not doing a 2-hour live stream in a week. We could go through a little walk through these woods patch. It's funny, whilst it was I've shared it as a shadow, come on Patch, a shadow of me, being scared sometimes to walk through the woods. I must admit, it's lovely being out in the sunshine, and that's one of the downsides of going in the woods. But let's head in, Patch. And one big thing I have been doing as well is just putting my as much money as I can into my pension, because it's not huge, or it wasn't huge. It's slightly better now. And also just feeling into what it would be like to be able to retire at the moment. It would be amazing to retire at 57. That's an idea we have, but we don't really know. My wife and I don't really know exactly what will happen in our lives. It's just a guess. And the good thing is about planning to retire early. Sorry, Fetch. There's a big stick following us. One of the challenges with that is that just guessing like when is the right age to retire for you is, will I really retire at 57? Probably not fully. Would I reduce my days? Probably. Will I be traveling? Yes. Will I be traveling in my camper van with my wife around Europe? Yes. And beyond? Yes. So these are a lot of the exciting experiences that we have in our hearts and in our minds. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. I'm just saying hello to the beautiful forest here. It's so wonderful here. This is Loch End Woods. I have a lot of past life memories here. Unfortunately, most of them weren't good. What I can remember, being chased a lot, being hunted, a bit like the Hunger Games, but that's for another video. And if I'm brave one day, I'll come here at night. I have it's called a infrared illuminator, so it's a torch that is infrared only, and I can bring my Psionics Aurora Pro. And in particular, I'm interested in what's up in these trees, because I've seen quite a few times these beings. Whoops, sorry, Patch. Big crack of a dead branch. So yeah, I definitely feel this balance, and learning. One of the things I'm teaching in my, or coaching, mentoring in my heart-aligned business mentoring, is that I have a template for figuring out, really it's an illustration of what your perfect work-life balance is, and then using that, so you put in like the slots, like a calendar for a week. You put in all the things that you need to do for your business, all the kind of regular slots. So for example, 5, 6, 7 client sessions, live streams, chats with your accountant, your weekly newsletter, if you're doing any free offerings with clients, in-person stuff, travel, like all these things, you put it in, breaks as well, and then around it you put, or in amongst it, depending on what you like, because some people like interruptions in their work. I like to pack all the work together and then have longer periods off. The next thing you do is like work out all the family time, joy and rest, the switch off time, and the time that really helps you receive. So this, and I'll call it that in the calendar, rest and receive time. And what's really beautiful about that is, you feel in a position where you're, you consciously see, your conscious mind can see, wow, look how powerful that is, that I can, fuel my high quality work and content that I create with my joy and rest. Because this is the key, really, that it's not all about push, push, push. It's more about rest, 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 and receive, and then a little bit more push. So yeah, really exciting. And anything else to share? Yeah, I just had a lovely chat with my wife as well. We just chatted about, the numbers of what it earns and put into pension, etc., and talked a little bit about our finance and our lives. And yeah, it was just really lovely to do. Anyway, we're 20 minutes in, and just wanted to say thank you so much for all your love and support, all your bookings. I did open more bookings since I refined my working patterns, so feel free to take a look. I don't know if there was any left in August now. I think we're down to September. But yeah, take a look at there's a little one-click booking button on my webpage, on my home page at jonbinnie.com, so you can take a look at that. And if you haven't seen it already, check out today's posts already, my Hi It's Jon video, all about facing your shadows and raising your vibrations, connecting with graceful and beautiful angels and dragons. I've also shared a podcast I did with Renee Garcia, the fantastic Hollywood director, and then I also posted a song, Calling My Dragons, and I'll be back live after a client session today. I'll be back live with Viviane doing our quantum psychic readings, clearings and healings at 4:30 UK time, 11:30 Eastern time and 8:30 AM Pacific time. Thank you so much. Sending love.